All right, so we're going to come up with 3 things that leaders do that allow them to be effective in their life. So the first thing we do is we make sure that we're aware of our self-limiting beliefs. 80% of success is your attitude. And your attitude is really driven by the beliefs that you have about yourself, others, and the world around you. And if you don't get to those unconscious beliefs that are driving you, you're going to find it very difficult to succeed or keep what it is that you've accomplished or attained. So if you believe, for example, that it's everything you want is so hard to get, and you walk around telling yourself how hard it is, then it's going to feel hard because that's the experience that you're creating for yourself. It's not reality, it's the reality that you're creating in your mind, and thus it will feel that way to you. So we want to be very aware of the thoughts that we have, the beliefs that we have, because if you have a belief inside that you're not worthy, then no matter what diet you try, it won't be successful, because you won't feel worthy enough of actually following through. You won't make yourself a priority. There'll always be something else that comes up that takes precedence. So, precedence. That's the right word, right? Yeah. So we want to make sure that we are clear about the beliefs that we have. And one of the easiest ways of uncovering those self-limiting beliefs is ask yourself, if you're feeling upset, what would I have to believe in order to feel upset? What do I think has to be true in order to feel this way? And you keep asking yourself that question over and over. What would I have to feel in order to feel this way? Well, no, it isn't working, it isn't working. What would I have to believe in order to feel like it isn't working? Well, I'd have to believe that, that what I'm doing isn't going to work, or that I'm wasting my money, or that I'm going to end up right where I was every other time. And it starts coming back to that deep down fear that somehow in some way you're not going to be enough to actually achieve your goal. You're not going to have the willpower, you're not going to have the resources, you're not going to have the ability to keep yourself motivated. Now, of course, you have those abilities inside of you, but if you have beliefs that keep causing you to go sideways, then you're not going to be able to actually follow through. And if you try to just use positive thinking, that will not be enough. That's like trying to cut the top of a weed off. It just grows back. You won't believe the positive things you're saying to yourself. So you have to get to the root system. You can use things like hypnosis to help you to get to that very quickly, but you can also just ask yourself questions. Okay, what's my biggest fear? You just keep asking yourself that. What's my biggest fear? And then you answer it. What's my biggest fear? And then you answer it. What's my biggest fear? You can do these things driving down the road. Now pay attention. But you can do these things just asking yourself, what's my biggest fear? And you'll start to uncover these ideas that you have, and then you begin to ask yourself, do I want to support that idea? Do I really want to support that idea anymore? It doesn't matter if it's true or not, because that can get you chasing your tail and going back and forth, trying to figure out if it's true or not. It doesn't matter. What matters is, do you want to support it or not? So you begin to ask yourself what's really going on inside. And once you start to uncover some of those self-limiting beliefs, then you ask yourself, is this something that I want to support anymore or no? And if the answer is no, then ask yourself the next best question, what do I want to believe? What do I want to start to believe about myself? Now in the beginning, you're not going to believe it. So you say, well, I want to believe that I am worthy, and you'll say it in a way that makes nobody believe you. I'm worthy, I can do this, I'm getting thin every day, yeah, right. The only reason why you wouldn't believe that is because you give more passion to your fears. I heard something today that really startled me. There are 750,000 words in the English language. 750,000 words in the English language. We have the largest vocabulary of anyone else. The Germans come in second, but not even close to 750 million words. Out of those 750,000 words, out of those 750,000 words, 4,000 of them, only 4,000 of them, describe emotion. They describe feelings. Of those 4,000 words that describe feelings, we have 3,600 words that describe negative experiences. 3,600 of them describe negative experiences. No wonder there are more people that feel bad in this world than people that feel good. There are more people that are unhappy than happy. There are more people that consider themselves unsuccessful than successful. And part of it is simply because of our vocabulary. When you walk around talking to yourself, what are you saying? The quality of your life is in direct proportion to the quality of the questions you ask yourself. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask yourself. So if you ask yourself lousy questions, you're going to get lousy answers and you're going to feel lousy. How come nothing ever works out for me? Is a lousy question. What if it doesn't work? Is a lousy question. It already presupposes that it's not going to work. There's the belief that's hidden inside of you. If you believe that it really isn't going to work, do you think you'll really put 100% into it? Hell no. You will not. And then you'll either distract yourself by doing other things. You'll tell yourself, oh, I'm so busy, because you're just allowing yourself to get distracted. You'll always be on the fence. You won't push harder because at the end of the day you're thinking, why does it really matter? It's not going to work out anyway. Why exert all this extra energy? Because it's going to help you become who you want to be instead of playing this game. When we do that, we're hiding. Every one of you in here is spectacular. And the only thing that's keeping you from feeling that, the only one that's keeping you from feeling that way is you. Without a doubt. There's nothing else stopping you in life but you. You might have busy situations, you might have busy schedules, you might have people in your life that don't feel good about themselves and they like to leak that on you. But at the end of the day, you get to decide how you feel. As Voltaire said, we're not in control of the hand we're dealt, we are in control of how we play that hand. That is your power. So, start asking better questions. How can this get better? What can I do right now to move towards what I want? How can I get all this stuff done and make it fun? When you ask, and make it fun, it allows you to access a whole new set of resources that your mind will pay attention to. Your brain is kind of like a deleting system. There's so many things to pay attention to, so much stuff just going around in this room that you can't possibly pay attention to all of it. So your mind has to delete big chunks of everything that's going on. How's your big toe feel on your left foot? Well, you had no idea until I said it, and then your mind went, boom, big toe. It cut that out, though. It deleted it because you didn't need to know, right? So your mind is a deleting system, and it's deleting a lot of stuff all the time. It's also deleting opportunities to succeed if you're not looking for them. If you have this filter, a belief that says it's never going to happen, what you want is right here, but you won't see it. Because you have this filter. Your mind will only allow you to see things that support the beliefs you have. Your mind will only allow you to see things that support the beliefs you already have. So you have to identify what those beliefs are, and then you got to shift them. You got to change those beliefs. If you start changing the questions that you ask yourself on a regular basis, it will change your life. Everything you want has to happen in here first, and then it will happen out there and you will see it. But life is very much like a mirror. You don't see the world as it is, you see the world as you are. And so we have to make sure that what we're doing in here aligns with what we want to have happen out there. And then you'll have authenticity and integrity. But usually we have values conflicts, we have internal debates, we get stuck fighting in our own head. So start paying attention to the kinds of questions that you're asking yourself and start to upgrade them. Start to upgrade them so you ask better quality questions which will allow you to access better thoughts, better feelings, better focus, and your feelings are what drive your behavior, and you'll find yourself taking action and staying consistent and following through. And then we'll have another class on how to deal with all your friends who are jealous. Okay? So let's get there, and then we'll talk about that. Okay? So we want to make sure that we're paying attention to what beliefs are driving our behaviors unconsciously. And then we want to start to notice what kind of questions we're asking ourselves so that we can begin to create more positive feelings. one exercise that you can use, and I'm going to do a newsletter on this, so if you're not taking notes, I'll take some for you and send it out. Make sure you're signed up to our newsletter. Okay. One of the things that you can do is you can notice the kinds of words that you use more regularly to describe the way you've been feeling. So I've met people that will walk around going, I am so mad. I am so mad. And they say it all the time, I am so mad. And guess how they feel? Mad most of the time. I know other people that say, I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. And then guess what? They walk around confused all the time. They have no choice. That's what they're telling their brain to feel. So pay attention to what you're saying to yourself, and if there's certain things that you talked about, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't have enough time. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. What if we change the way that you talk to yourself? What if instead of being busy, you're in demand? Does that feel better? In demand. The words you use are attached to feelings and hormones in your brain, and your brain will secrete different hormones that will biochemically change the way you feel just by changing the words. I'm enraged, or I'm mad, or I'm peeved. They all feel different, don't they? Say, I'm enraged.
I'm enraged.
Okay? I'm mad.
I'm mad.
I'm peeved.
I'm peeved.
You can't say that without smiling, right? It changes the way you feel instantly just by changing the sound that you utter. If you took the word enraged out of your vocabulary, you couldn't feel enraged. You could feel annoyed, upset, angry, pissed, but you couldn't feel enraged because if you take the word out, you can't access the feeling. Now, think of what words that you would like to get rid of. If you don't want to procrastinate, don't say it. Don't walk around telling, I just got to stop procrastinating. Get rid of that word. You can say, oh, I put things off. Oh, I dilly-dally. But throw out the word that you want to get rid of. If you walk around stressed, throw that word out for 7 days. Say anything else you want, but don't say that word stress for 7 days. Make little reminders, post it all over the place. And remind yourself to use better language. So, write down 3 words that you use to describe emotion regularly, and then write down 3 different things that you could use to describe that feeling instead. 3 alternatives, 3 different choices. You could even think about using more positive spins. So instead of a problem, you have a challenge. Instead of overwhelmed, you have, what was that? I was playing this game driving over here. I'll put it in the newsletter. Instead of overwhelmed, what did I put?
Involved.
Oh, involved's a good one.
Blessed.
Yeah.
Engaged.
Blessed. That's right. Engaged.
Yeah.
Woo! These are good. Yeah. These are good. See, when you start directing your mind in that new direction, guess what happens? Bam, bam, bam. That's awesome. Overwhelmed or engaged? Which do you want to be? Engaged. That's a powerful word. That's awesome. Okay? So we want to make sure that we're walking around feeling engaged or blessed. You know, a lot of people say, I'm overwhelmed, but they created all that stuff. If they didn't have so much going on, they'd probably be bored to tears. They're blessed, but they don't feel blessed because they're telling themselves a different story. So, pay attention to the questions that you ask yourself. The second thing that you have to do for leadership is you have to make sure that you're holding your body in a way that's going to help you feel the way you want to feel. Hold your body the way that you want to feel. Because the way you hold your body determines how you feel most of the time. If you hold your body like this, you're going to feel wiped out and depressed. If you hold your body real tight and stressed and you collapse and become small, you're going to feel stressed, anxious, upset, frustrated. So we got to shift the way we hold our body. So everybody stand up. So, hold yourself the way that you would hold yourself if you're depressed. Now look around the room. Everybody knows this strategy, don't you? Everybody knows it. Everybody does the same thing. Okay? Now, hold your body the way you hold your body when you're stressed. Now look around. When we're stressed, we've been trained to try not to show it. Did you see everybody just went like this? But you feel it and you hold it in. And if you hold it in for 30 years, you get cool things like IBS, fibromyalgia, lupus, all kinds of really fun things. Okay? So, now, hold your body the way you would if you just won the gold medal. What do they do? Go on, do it. No half-assing it. What is this? That's right.
That's a Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, you didn't win gold.
Yeah.
You just won silver. Yeah, silver, and you're mad about it. Okay? That's right. You're jumping up and down. That's right. Good. Okay? That feels different, right? Absolutely. So, when you expand your body, you feel more powerful. When you expand your body, you feel more powerful. When you look up, you feel better than when you look down. When you look down, you get upset and stressed. When you look up, it turns off the auditory digital. It turns off you talking. So I want you to look at the ceiling and try to get upset about something. You won't be able to do it.
I could if my husband came in.
You'd be looking at him. You wouldn't be looking at the ceiling.
That's true.
I'm telling you, if we stapled him to the ceiling, you'd feel better about him. Okay? I'm not suggesting you try that. I'm just saying. When you look up, it disconnects you from feelings. When you look down, oh, you're deep into the story about your husband and why he this and why he that. Change your story to own it, saying, this is how I choose to feel when I'm around him. This is how I'm choosing to respond or react when I'm thinking about this situation. Take your power back. If you make if you create what's called an external locus of control, where someone else makes you mad and you can't do anything about it, you're screwed. You have to have an internal locus of control. Oh, he does certain things that used to really get me upset. It used to push my buttons before I decided to get rid of my buttons. You know, marriage therapy is all about changing your partner, right? And I've done lots of coaching with couples over the years, and the relationship we always have to have is with ourselves. We learn to communicate differently with ourselves so that what the other person does doesn't cause the reaction inside anymore. Are you the cause in your life, or are you the effect? Are you the fly or the fly swatter? So when you say, oh, he or she makes me so mad, you got to shift that, or you're never going to be able to change it. Just say, what's going on inside of me that causes me to feel this way? And then notice the questions you're asking yourself, or notice the story that happens in your head that makes you a victim. And start to change that. And when you change that, it often influences those around you. But if you just try to change what's going on around you, it will not work. Change what's going on inside of you, and that seems to influence what happens around you. It's a very cool thing. Most people do it backwards. But that's why they don't get what they want, and that's why the divorce rate is more than half. So we have to shift the way that we're doing it. Do not do it like everybody else. Do it this way, and you'll get better results. Okay? Make sense? All right, good. Go ahead and have a seat. So, make sure if you're feeling stressed and you're feeling upset, I want you to take the pose of Superman or Wonder Woman. And hold that for just a couple minutes. Just a couple minutes. It changes your testosterone levels, your confidence hormone that'll make you feel better. It lowers your cortisol level, your stress hormone, the hormone that causes you to store fat. So when you go like this, it actually makes you biochemically feel better. There's a video on YouTube that I'll have on our blog from a woman named Amy. She's from Harvard, and she tested people before and after, and tested their hormones and found this is absolutely true. So we have scientific basis, but in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, we've known that for years. So, but we've had someone from Harvard, say it, and everybody goes, ooh, right? Like on the news, I heard yesterday on the news, breaking news, aspirin helps with headaches. Okay, I know, it's amazing, right? So, we've known this stuff for years. This is the stuff we teach in Design Your Destiny. In our Design Your Destiny seminars, we teach you how to use the power of your mind to create your life by design. Okay, so if you want to make more money, you want to make your relationships better, you want to drop that weight, you want to feel more successful, then we spend 4 or 5 days reprogramming your mind and teaching you stuff you have never been taught before. It's phenomenal. We have people that fly from around the world. They come right here, sit in this office, okay, from Dubai and Prince Edward Islands and all over the place. We'll fly in here to get this kind of learning, which I always think is amazing coming into Indianapolis. Okay? So we want to make sure that we're learning how to use the power of your mind in the most extraordinary way. Your brain's like a computer. If you know how to use it, you can do amazing things with it. And if you don't know how to use it, you just crash the thing all the time. You can't get it to work. And then it freezes up on you, and then you just want to smash it. Okay? Yeah? So let's shift that then, shall we? Let's shift that, because it does not have to be that way. So, if it starts to feel that way, stop what you're doing and for 2 minutes do a power pose. Now, at first you're going to be like this. I don't want to do this freaking pose. I'm pissed off. I want to do it. It feels stronger to be angry than it does to be upset, sad, or afraid. Stressed is just fear. When you're really stressed, it's because you're afraid you're not going to get stuff done, and then what that might mean. People don't like to say they're afraid. They go, no, I'm stressed. But if you boil it down, all emotions go down from love to fear. Everything is just, a variation of love or fear. And so we want to make sure that when we're stressed, that what we're really saying is, I'm afraid something's going to happen, and then we want to shift that. Okay, then we're going to shift it. And the fastest way to shift it is change your physiology first. Change the way you're holding your body. Then you will start to feel more resourceful. Then you ask yourself better questions. Change your body first, then ask better questions. What do you change first?
Your body.
And then you ask better what?
Questions.
All right. So that's the second and third thing we do. Okay? So the 3 steps of leadership is we want to make sure that 1, we are aware of our beliefs so that we have strong beliefs. Any stinking thinking beliefs, donate them. Have a mental garage sale and get them out of there. Don't give free rent to beliefs that are not serving you any longer. Step 2, change your physiology. Change the way you're holding your body, and it will change the way you feel so that you can do step 3, which is change the quality of the questions you ask yourself so that you can feel stronger, more powerful, more resourceful, and resilient. Remember, the goal in life is not to learn how to avoid the storms, but to learn how to dance in the rain. Do you have any questions? I'm going to turn it over to Sherry now.
Where'd Sherry go?
Hi, everybody. Okay, so today we're going to cook healthy because there's bugs in this stuff and you shouldn't eat it. All right, so.
The preservatives keep them from hatching.
Yeah, oh, that's disgusting. Oh my gosh. That is brilliant. Yeah, we got to put that in a newsletter. Make a note of that, Katie.
That's why you
And
go to
stress
4
turned around is rest.
There's bugs that crawling all over there.
Stress turned around is what?
Stress turned around or stress.
Stress is desserts.
The stress is rest.
Those are there.
So if we want to turn it around, we create more rest.
Right, the word turns around to be already at it. Yes.
Awesome. You start to have those little games where you play that around, and then it makes you feel better. Okay, so you could walk around and just go, and I'm so rest. And then it changes the way you feel, right? It'll change the way you feel. Hi, are you ready?
I think I am.
Okay, terrific. You look ready. So, any other questions? I'm going to turn this over to Sherry, and she's going to rock our world now. So, okay, good. All right.